Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Forge of Champions. Wow, what a game. What a game we just had. Darkspawn able to pull that game back from just certain defeat.
Yeah, absolutely. It was well fought by both teams, with Darkspawn coming in clutch. And normally I like to talk about all the plays that are made by the team, the proactive things that are done. But Beely, I mean, that's the man I want to talk about, just dominating on this rise. Just felt like he was untouchable. Felt like he was ice skating around the team fights, pumping out damage, and anyone who's in front of him just got popped. And crucially, like so many times, the Kennen ulted and head towards him, and he just went through a couple of spells and blew him up.
It was so exciting. I just want to get into picks and bans. I want to see the priority on this rise coming in, because I believe the teams will be switching sides.
I think you ban it because I think the issue is I believe Bulldogs are switching over to Tully in this game. Yeah. I don't think he plays Rise, I'm pretty sure. And Coward hasn't shown that. But actually, Bulldog going to be again on this red side.
All right, well, we'll have to keep our eyes on how this picks and bans start to phase out, because I expect Darkspawn probably just to ban away the same champs. That Aurelia, that Akali, and I can't remember what the last ban was. Maybe they switch out that last ban for something. Oh, it was a Morgana. Maybe they switch it out for something like the Jarvan if they're really worried about what Camille can do on that.
Yeah, potentially. He did have a lot of impact on that Jarvan, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. They do actually ban that out, so it's good. Wow, what a great point. So they ban that away. Aurelia still on the table. I feel like Bulldog have to look at that Rise as a big problem for them.
All right, well, but a few things open for them to ban away. They actually ban away the Aurelia, so maybe Darkspawn just want to ban away that Morgana now.
Well, that's interesting, because Darkspawn were going to ban away the Aurelia themselves. Maybe Bulldogs felt worried that if they banned the Rise, Darkspawn would pick the Aurelia.
By the way, I'm actually smurfing picks.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
And they don't ban the Rise, so I mean, I feel like Darkspawn just pick it.
They just first pick it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, makes sense. They first pick themselves the Rise. That one was not too hard to guess, really.
No
coming out
brainer.
And I mean, technically, it's still a flex pick as well. Aka's looked very good on that Ornn. He's a very mechanically gifted top laner. So he's still capable of playing the likes of this Rise, but this time, the fast leg, he's not going to be the ones getting his hand onto the Nautilus. The Nautilus and the Kai'Sa are going to be picked up by Koki and the Cat for Bulldog. But, I mean, I don't want to say the Nautilus is definitely going in the bot lane, because we've seen this AP Nautilus still be a potential thing here to go in that mid.
And I think it works so well against the Rise, because you can't outplay that ultimate, and with the AP that you would have for mid, or even just as a support, the lockdown will make you a very easy target. Goes over to Darkspawn. You're looking at that Xayah. Rakan is off the table, banned by Bulldog in that first rotation, but Flair had a great game on that. Very hard to pin down with that Xayah. And now we are looking to what Darkspawn wants to take in the third pick. I expect to see a jungler, just to put some priority towards PF5. That at least is still available. Didn't have the greatest daily impact, but there are other options. Rek'Sai is a possibility, but this is how usually Darkspawn transition their draft. They could go for a support if they want to match that bot lane. Depends how they're feeling.
All right, well, let's see. As they pick up the Shen, so that potentially goes in the top lane, that potentially goes in the support role. Darkspawn actually don't reveal their hand too much here. And, I mean, they can kind of... They might not even know where they're going to put that, but actually a Heimerdinger gets picked up for Coward in the mid lane.
We don't certainly know it's for Coward. It could still go top. Have to see where it ends up playing out. But yeah, the Heimer comes through, so that means a lot of shoving power. This may be the answer to the Rise. This may be, okay, you're going to pick Rise. We're just going to shove you in. You're not going to have many options. And then in a team fight, you throw that ult-empowered bomb, and it just stuns everyone in front of you. Obviously, you saw Darkspawn take that Shen, so Bulldog going to start clamping down in the jungle pool. Rek'Sai gets taken away. I expect to see them ban at least after this. But remember, Bulldog haven't picked up their jungler either, so hopefully Kunal has some other tricks up his sleeve.
I think you also got to keep in mind is when they were hovering the Shen, they also hovered the likes of that Heimerdinger. So it feels like Darkspawn maybe knew that this was a possibility. Maybe they're prepared for it. Like I said, there's a lot of flexibility in this draft. That Shen can go top, it can go support. That is a Rise, it can go top, it can go mid. They ban away the Elise. They don't want to give any early game junglers to kind of match up well with the Nautilus hook, because if you land the hook into the cocoon, it's pretty much certain death in the early phase of the game, and Ornn gets banned away from Bulldog. So
yeah, so they expect the Shen to still be support. Classic did play yesterday, I believe, so it is a possibility. Kindred has been touched. Kindred has risen up in priority because of this patch. The level 3 junglers are much stronger. In a lot of the other series, there's been much more priority on it, but here it's just not being focused on. They're unsure where this Heimer is going, so they do opt to ban away the Zoe, but now Bulldogs, they could pick up something like the Kindred here, but I feel like Canal wants something aggressive that he can engage on.
I like this spam. It just gives you a little bit of wiggle room. You know, you don't want to accidentally get put into this Zoe. So they take that away. And now, what a Bulldog looking to pick up? Then this is when they start to round out their comp, when we start to get a rough idea of where things are going. Looks like the Heim is going into the top lane as they lock a Victor, but actually, you know what? That could be top lane Victor. It could be anything. Could be anywhere.
It could be support Heim. I think based on what came out, I mean, I don't think it's good, but I think it's possible. I think it probably is going to be the Nautilus Kai'Sa bot lane.
It's better than top of Zir.
Yeah, and then it's the Victor and the Heim. I'm not sure about PFI. Unsurprising to look towards that Sejuani because a lot of junglers off the table, and that is sort of his comfort. But remember that Kindred very much still available if Quinal wanted to pick that up. And it is a strong pick on this patch. So interesting that there has been no priority put towards that by Darkspawn or Bulldogs as of yet.
Looks like we're seeing them looking to round out their comp and potential for some scaling, potential for some things that have been left open but we've forgotten about, like this Silas. Could get picked up the Aatrox as well after the reworks there. But Akers, he's going to comfort. This is a pick I know this guy plays oh so much, and he's going to go onto the Gnar in the top lane.
Yeah, and it looks like we will likely see Bulldog just round things out with that jungler. Unless we're going to see something absolutely crazy come out here. But that Gnar in the top lane, comfort for Akers, whether he is up against the Victor or the Heimer. He has the range that should be able to help him out. Then we have that Shen, that Ryze. That is a very strong 1-3-1 composition when I think about it.
All right, well, they do pick some early presence up with their jungle. They've got the Olaf. It synergizes well with the likes of the Nautilus because you CC them down. As soon as that gives range for Quinil to get on top of you, just means that they can get some serious damage. And I look at like this bot lane, and that's where my questions are going to be because I expect to see Quinil try to go for those invades again into the likes of PFI, look to try and punish him. So if they can get a good push, they can then rotate the cat with Quinil into PFI's jungle and look to pressure him from there.
I mean, I want to see the early pressure come out from Bulldog because Quinil is a stronger early jungler. That Olaf is very powerful when he hits level 3. If he gets low, he's still going to put a lot of fight in. They should have the shove top lane from Tolium. They should have control of the wave bot lane because of this Nautilus and this Kai'Sa. So I want to see Quinil make plays around them and kind of make PFI's life difficult again. My concern is later on, that 1-3-1 from Darkspawn is just so difficult to deal with. And once again, the team fight, I mean, they don't have nearly as many tools to deal with it. Sure, Victor scales well, but like Victor, Heimer, and the Kai'Sa are the only really, they're going to be really powerful in the late game components. And I feel like Darkspawn will just either 1-3-1 them to death or run them over. So I think it's up to Bulldog to find that momentum in the early stages.
So that's what I want to talk to you about, actually, a little bit about, you know, what do we expect coming into this game? Because you kind of lightly hit on the fact that Darkspawn had the ability to get that 1-3-1 and just play the map like that. But what are you expecting coming into this game? Do you think Darkspawn have what it takes to pull this game back, to pull this series into their favor and go 2-0? Or do you think Bulldog can somehow bite back?
I think it's going to be a 2-0 for Darkspawn because I think Beely's on the rise again. He had a great performance on that. I think the composition makes sense to me, and I think the win conditions are easy. There's a bit of spice being thrown in by Bulldog, so we've got to see if that can hold and come through to give them this game.
Alrighty, well, we take to the Rift for our 5th game of the day. Game 2 of Series 2. Darkspawn have pushed Bulldog's backs to the wall. And it is all to play for now.
Will be a fairly passive start. Tolium getting his turret set up in the top lane. Frustrating to deal with.
How does this Heim work into the Gnar? I assume he just shoves Gnar.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He just shoves Gnar in. I think Heimer just shoves everything in, to be honest. I can't think of many things that doesn't shove in. I think Akers has to be careful if he gets poked out. He's a bit vulnerable for a dive if they get the shove in. But
he's running fleet footwork.
You just gonna farm. Yeah, that's just to deal with the poke.
Yeah, he's recognizing the fact that he will get poked. He's recognizing he will get also sustained damage put into him.
That is the one nice thing is that you can boomerang the turrets from long range, but Heimer just places another. He doesn't care.
I mean, it's 2 boomerangs at this point. Does make it nice and hard, but that's fine. As he's going to help PFI start up on his blue buff. Quinil starting up on the red side. I think they're just doing this more because they recognize that Quinil could just, if they started red side for PFI, they just would have sent Vanille into the blue side once again and deny PFI a 2-buff start.
Yeah, I think you have less freedom to go for the sort of heavy invades on the Olaf because you have more limited mobility. Feeling gonna struggle a bit in the early trades. W is the actual standard level 1 start on Rise now. The root helping you to trade more effectively, keeping them still. You can throw some autos in, but unfortunately against the Victor, when he can Q auto, get that shield, get that extra damage, you're not going to win that level 1. Really needs a couple more levels before he can start to put some pressure in on that lane.
The Cat's actually looking for an early dredge line. He's got that level 2, does connect it as fast. They taunts out of the way. Now they try to get that turnaround, but you're level 1 to level 2. You're not going to win that fight.
I feel like Fastleg could have just waited, let the hook connect, and then E'd out afterwards. Instead, does kind of put Flirt in an unfortunate position, but they won't take too much of a hit. Bulldog have the pressure advantage in this bot lane. And this is a big concern for me, is that they have the shove bot, they have the shove top lane, and actually they have the shove mid as well. So Bulldog are pushing lanes across the board, and it's now for Quinal to freely do whatever he wants on the map. And you can see them looking to potentially invade PFI.
PFI is able to pick up his big chickens, but the laser comes down. He's going to take some serious damage, and Vanille with Flash doesn't want to go over the wall, but he's just going to take away his Krugs.
And that is one of the most valuable camps in the game because of how much XP it gives to you. It looks like Quinal not quite going for it right now. Could potentially look for a play. Remember, this wave, look at the size of it for blue side. It is pushing towards Bulldog. So they will eventually end up overextending the lane. That is why Fastleg went and warded the Tribe Rush. But he's got to be aware that Quinal is behind him. Got to be aware he's on those Krugs because of the information received from PFI. So they will play safe. And Quinal is going to head towards that Scuttle Crab. On the other side of the map, PFI did manage to pick up the top Scuttle and might head over and get some Krugs in return.
Yeah, he's actually just going to trade objective for objective here, but actually maybe looking for something onto Tolium. As mid lane, there was a little bit of action. Beely was getting ganked early, but Tolium now already looking to jump in as they get the turrets down. They get the stun onto Akaz. Akaz is about to transform, and Tolium is going to transform. They're able to get the flash away, but he's low HP. He does need to be careful. Those rockets going to do some serious work.
Honestly, that is a hard gank to pull off. And that went fairly well considering. If the stun connects from Tolium, I think Akaz dies there. So does burn his flash, does end up being a favorable trade for Darkspawn. And actually, I think Akaz is going to TP back in. And they can just go for the same play again because PFI is waiting up there. No flash, but I think Akaz, no, Tolium respects this and backs off. So a flash bin, I want to see it capitalized on though. That flash, it's nice to get, but it's not going to mean much unless you can make a return gank. And the big one for me is you have this Rise in the mid lane. Once you hit level 6, it's an easy roam up to shut down that Heimerdinger.
Now, question for me is this, do we expect them to assign someone else to deal with the Heimerdinger later? Or does the Nas kind of scale away to a point where the Heim can't deal with it anymore?
I think you're pretty fine later stages in the game. You can essentially clear up the wave. Plus, it depends what build you go. If you go a more team fight build where you're bulkier, he can't really poke you out, but he will shove you in. If you go more for split push, attack speed, or even an on-hit build, if you go something like the Wit's End, then you have to have pretty good lane pressure against him. Potentially look for kills, but will be able to shove the Heimer out. It depends what Darkspawn's goals are for this game. Looking from the start of the build for Akaz, I think he's going towards that Phage for that Black Cleaver. It's not completely indicative, but it does suggest he's going towards more for playing for the team build rather than going for something like a Wit's End rush, which would help him in the 1v1 matchup.
All right, well, now Beely on this level 5 is fairly comfortable just to kind of get a little bit of poke, a little bit of trading, keep this wave dealing with him. But Coward now has got the CS lead over him. They are looking to rotate actually Fastleg into this lane.
Yeah, Cleanse is available for Calwood, so would be able to get out of that, but someone would have to be burned if he gets taunted. Crucially though, Calwood throws his ult down to clear the wave. He does not want to deal with the situation, and Fastleg going to get spotted out by the cat and just torn away. One of the big strengths of this Shen support is you have quite a bit of mobility to escape with.
Now he places down that pink ward. He might just look to try and see if he can get something onto Cat. Remember, his Q does give him that like free auto attacks of health % damage, which will do a fair amount to the likes of Cat once his dredge line's down.
Wave is pushing for Darkspawn. Quinal is in the area, so there has to be some concern for the side of Darkspawn if this Olaf turns up. So PFI walks down. He wants to ensure the safety of his bot lane. will do his Krugs, but being in such a close proximity, Kunal does not want to go for that play. And actually, Akka's looking for the play.
Going for the 1v1 versus Tilium. Tilium's low on mana. Akka's has that flash, trying to chase up. He flashes forward. The Q goes wide. It gets blocked out by the turret. The towers are doing so much damage to Akka's, and somehow Tilium makes his way out.
Just crucially, the turret blocked the Q. As soon as it hits something, it starts to come back, so wasn't able to connect on Tilium. So good play from him to throw that down and end up being able to get away. And now Bulldog are gonna use the pressure from having an Olaf jungle to get this Mountain Dragon. Actually, PFI potentially looking for a steal here.
He's come over the wall. He's looking to get slowed down. Arctic assaults away to safety, not willing to commit. No level 6 on fast leg. He's only level 4. They are just going to give up that Mountain Drake.
Yeah, testing the patience of Bulldog. If they try to rush it, he could have potentially got a steal, but the objective control is good. They are patient. They slow it down. They start to move towards PFI, and then as soon as he backs out, that's when they finish it. So good response from them and good coordination.
That New Magic Mantle's now been finished up onto Akka's. So he's building towards at least some magic resist. Most likely the Merc Treads. See what else he decides to buy. But Liam will just be able to get a few plates here. Just the one.
Yeah, just the one. Definitely how the matchup is expected to go. You want to shove in that top lane. You want to try and get pressure, get plates with that Heimer. CS is being kept fairly even and a fairly slow game. The only real advantage is in that mid lane. A Coward is a bit up in CS. About 10 or so. Not the most impactful. And crucially, one of the big things is TP on B-Lee means late in the game, he's going to be able to just sit in a side lane and keep farming up. And that's where the win condition for Darkspawn comes in. If I very low going for an invade here.
Yeah. Well, it's not an invade. It's a tactical scouting mission where you got to spot where Cornel is.
Yeah, and he will just recall now to get some more HP. I think he likely will be able to build his empowered smite. Goes for the blue boy. That extra CC. Helping land. That ult. When he wants to look for it. Bot lane of Darkspawn will respawn. We still do not have that channel. Another level to go. And crucially, PFI is a bit behind on the Sejuani. A couple of camps isn't the most impactful thing, but it does mean he is not yet level 6. He may hit that soon, but right now, Kunal's on the top side wanting to apply pressure to Akka's. Stun does not connect, but the poke will.
They do a fair amount, but with that fleet footwork now, also that Your Magic Mantle, he does have a fair amount of sustain. He's not going to take too much poke from Tilium at the moment.
Yeah, refillable pots coming in clutch here.
They are your friend.
If I'm going to clear out some vision on the bot side, they were aware of Kunal being on the top side, clearing that ward out, so they'll take the opportunity to shore up some of the vision issues. Was that bot lane. Manamune being picked up by Koki. Will still need a pickaxe and some stacks on that before he gets his Q evolved, but once he does, cheapest route to get your evolved Q is the strength of this new build after the buffs on 9.9. But right now, it doesn't give a ton of power. It's cheaper than a Stormrazor, so he wouldn't normally have a Stormrazor finish at this point. But the one item spike off Stormrazor is stronger. The difference is you will get a cheaper upgrade, and Kunal actually going to get forced.
Lord! He does so much damage to him. Forces the flash out, but now Beely is on that flank. Akka's clearing out the wave. He throws the ulti down, but the Ragnarok is on. They just find themselves a slow. The Rift Herald is thwarted.
Yeah, crucially just didn't wait long enough for the Ragnarok to time out, wanted to find it, and then with Coward coming in and the Heimer assistance, they didn't feel comfortable ulting in to follow up. Get a quick look at the gold. It's slightly favored across the board for Bulldog, but only slight amounts. 800 gold lead overall. Just little numbers. The CS lead mildly apparent in the mid and bot lane, but PFI has managed to close things up in the jungle.
BD is down in CS for the moment versus Coward, but kind of natural what you'd expect from the Victor Rise matchup, at least early into the game. Once Victor gets the evolution on his death ray, he's just able to clear out these waves nice and quick. Now PFI, once again, having a little look around, seeing if he can spot out Cornel on this objective, but the cat is rotated into the mid lane. It looks like the Rift Herald actually just will be given up here. Darkspawn unwilling to commit.
This is not the fight you want to take. You know how strong that Olaf is. He doesn't have his ult, and neither does PFI. And Bulldogs, they know This game is not going to be easy to handle later on. Beely in the side lane can be such a threat, and this Ryze is menace in team fights as well. They want to close this one out soon, so they will get that Rift Herald. And it's likely they're going to try and throw it down top lane and just further extend the damage onto this tower. Won't go down just to the charge. And I don't think they're going to have the space to be able to clear out the rest of the tower, but a lot of plates go over to Tolium.
Yeah, they should be able to pick up at least 3 plates there.
Did the gold? I didn't see the gold go over to him. I think he might have been out of range. Surely it goes over to the Herald hold user. I don't know. Actually, seeing a bit of a play coming bot. I was looking for, we're potentially looking for Koki, but when the cat shows up, they aren't as confident. Oh. The cat's recall comes in sooner. Koki cancel. PFI's here.
They're looking to come in onto the cat. They get himself the taunt off. They throw out the ulti as well. Flirt puts the damage down, and the cat is minced. First blood for Fastlane.
And a very late first blood at 12 minutes, but Darkspawn, they lay the trap, and they manage to get a pick. Beely will ward off Koki. The Kai'Sa is going to get away for now.
Looks like they're going to get themselves this second Drake. Darkspawn equalize out the Drake score. It's Cloud, though, unfortunately, for them. Not the Mountain, but Bulldog were able to find themselves. No first turret blood has been picked up.
Yep, slow-paced game for now. But a gold lead. Actually gone back over to Darkspawn now because of that first blood. And a bit of the CS gap closed. Still 10 in the mid, but bot lane and top less significant.
Even so, Tilium's able to take all of these plates. There's only 1 plate left, and that turret is exceptionally low. They need to do something about this lane.
I'm not sure if they got the gold when they used the Rift Herald, because I didn't see the gold fly over. And if you think about the gold difference,
they actually did, but Akers, unfortunately misses out. About to time out, so he's forced to flash away as Fastlane makes his way in. Multiple members of Bulldogs are hanging about, and Akers, no flash. No ult available, and Beely getting chunked and zoned away. PFI also low HP. Bulldog, once again, playing this early game very, very well, but you do have to keep in mind, they're not playing as well as they were the last game early. And we saw Darkspawn come back from a larger deficit.
Yeah, very true, and they do have a composition that favors them pretty heavily. The Ryze and the Gnar are going to be pretty difficult to deal with in the side lanes. For now, they have to concede pressure. Bulldog are in control of this game. They will get that first tower. Edge slightly ahead in gold. Okay, maybe it's all the plates bot lane that balanced it out. That's probably the better one.
That's probably what's going on, my dude.
That's probably the reason. Really low HP. Has to be a bit careful of Calwood here. Oh, that wave clear is so nice to see.
It's so satisfying to watch.
They'll just get this tower here in return. Koki and the cat have to be careful. Tower goes down to the Xayah and Shen.
All right, well, Vanille's coming in. Doesn't get the smite away. PFI does secure that.
So we'll be able to pick up that objective. While before the next dragon, though, so the Scuttle will likely time out by then. But now confident walking up with Cat to get some vision control. A strong jungle support duo. You have the damage from the Olaf and the CC from the support, but it looks like they could be looking for something here. The cat still has flash, and Quinel's there to body block any CC.
You get the root. The Ragnarok's already been forced out.
For essentially nothing. They didn't even use PFI's ult there, and they
got the depth
Ragnarok
charge as well.
Yeah, so definite win there for Darkspawn. Their patience pays off, and now they're able to clear out the wave mid, and they have the pressure here. As Sejuani have an ult. Means she's very scary for the Olaf.
Oh, Coward didn't get blue. That's actually massive because he's like the primary wave clear on this mid lane.
And look at his mana.
He's low on mana. He's gonna have to. He's gonna really struggle to clear this wave out. That's why he's got the help of the cat with him in this lane.
I mean, it's huge for Victor as well because a lot of mid laners go things like the Ludens or they build that Lost Chapter early. Or in the case of Ryze, he's got the Seraphs, well, the Archangels right now. And that gives you a big mana pool. But with Victor, you upgrade your item and shit. It does increase your mana a bit, but it's not as significant. So getting hit on losing your blue buff is a pretty big hit.
It's also like the later versions of it is when you actually get significant mana. Like your first two isn't quite so big.
Well, it's not even that. It scales with level as well.
But the scaling's terrible. Anyway, it looks like Cornel's forced to flash away. He's very, very low now.
Pressure over the side of Darkspawn, having forced the jungler off. Beely's now rotated over. Light chunk onto the cat.
Remember, he has no depth charge yet. Was forced to use that earlier when Cornel was forced away. Just solid shove here from Darkspawn. They are really looking to close this out. They want to go on 2-1 as the cat is forced to flash away.
Burning summoners across the board. Darkspawn have the pressure. They have the HP pool advantage, and they should be able to get this tower pretty easily here. Bulldog try and react, but a bit too slow. Now, crucially, they pull Tolium down. So Akaz is going to get a little bit of alone time with this top turret. And they're not, with a full Black Cleaver built, not going to struggle too much to start knocking that one down.
Elite finds the route onto Coward, gets a bit of a trade, just chunks him a little bit. But for the moment, he's quite content. Let's take a little look at kind of the item spikes that are coming through, because that Essence Reaver Zeal and working towards the rapid fire cannon here for Flirt. I mean, nice and big as Koki now. Bit of a way away from the rapid fire cannon still. We'll see how close he is off this base. He might just be finishing it here.
In the Rage Blade.
Rage Blade, sorry. I said rapid fire twice.
Yeah, it does seem like a rapid fire because it does fire auto attack so fast. Rage Blade not yet available. We'll just actually recall him by 2 pinks. What an AD carry, man.
What an AD carry, my dude.
He calls him by his 2 control wards. What a trooper. What a team player. And that shows how much Bulldog want to stay in this game, want to stay in the UKLC.
All right, with this Cloud Drake spawn, and Darkspawn actually might be able to get their hands on this. Uncontested as Bulldogs not really willing to contest.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people complain about Cloud Dragon, but the movement speed isn't something to complain about. Other than Infernal. Like, don't get me wrong, Infernal is great. Stats in combat, beautiful. But it's the only other dragon that gives in-combat stats. Mountain's good for objectives. Ocean's good for sustaining out fights. But the only one that's going to help you in a team fight is that Cloud, other than the Infernal, of course. Because it just makes you faster, makes you more able to move around. And especially if you're trying to run a 1-3-1, the extra movement speed is going to help keep your solo laners safe.
Yeah, I mean, switching between lanes is so fast once you stack up those triple clouds, if they can get that third one. It's going to be really, really big here for Darkspawn. They're going to be speedy boys running around that map, but for the moment, we are just taking a little bit of a breath. Both of these teams know what's on the line. The gold 400 in favor of Darkspawn as Bulldogs are rotating a couple of members into this bot lane. They want to take this turret.
Yeah, and Akaz will go in return to try and defend it. He has got a lot of HP now, but in that minion form is pretty vulnerable. Going to clear the wave, and they're not able to die before that minion wave dies out. Did you see the goal differences there? And there's quite a few in favor of Flirt. He has received that 1 kill of this game, and a lot of those plates in return, though. Tolium has got an advantage over Akaz because of those plates. And right now, the trap is set for Akaz. He could go aggressive here on the Calwood.
You can tell he's playing really tempered on the Gnar. Just about to hit 6 as well, so it gets even harder for them to go for this play. They cool off the play as Darkspawn. In the meanwhile, while they play safe in that bot lane, rotate multiple members to the top side, and they are looking to pressure right here.
Yeah, it's a slight thing, but Bulldog, they try and lay the trap, but Akaz is well aware. He plays restraint. He knows there are so many people missing off the map, and he lets his team get advantages on the other side of the map. So really heads up play from him. And although it seems like a minor thing, it has pushed Darkspawn to a 1,000 gold lead. They have 2 turrets up. But now PFI has to be a little bit careful. You don't want to die for that pink ward.
They don't want that pink. They're going to concede the pink here.
Yeah, I mean, the position of the pink from Darkspawn in that bush is very aggressive. You can't often defend it for a long amount of time unless you have complete control of mid. So what they'll do is they'll shove in the mid wave. And now Bulldog have to answer it. They have to send the AD carry, and they will be able to clear out the vision. Now, Kunal has to be careful.
Doesn't need to be careful. The Winter's Wrath connects onto him just to get a little bit of a slow. This game is so much lower tempo than that last game.
Yeah,
we got 1 kill in at 20 minutes.
Neither team wanted to give anything up. They're playing it very slow. Yeah. Very slow.
Very slow game. Anyway, Coward working towards that Loon's Echo, so he does kind of expand that mana pool as well quite a lot. We'll be able to spam those spells. Let's take a look at what Beely's got as well. He's got the Seraphs building the Phoenix Codex and the Oblivion Orb, so most likely looking to build towards I expect to be a Zhonya's here.
Could be. Could also be the Banshees. I wouldn't think it's a bad shout.
Ooh, not a bad shout, actually. Into the
Works
cat.
works very well against that. Plus the massive AP threats on the side of Bulldogs. As well, it'll be able to block the Prey Seeker from the Kai'Sa. No, the Prey Seeker's the...
Void Seeker.
Void Seeker, yeah. Prey Seeker's
the wrong one.
Rek'Sai.
Yep. Land Shark, that is.
Yeah. They're Seekers, you know. They seek something.
Well, I mean, if you go for the Zhonya's, you get Seeker's Arm Guard as well.
True. True.
What's the seeking in this game? PFI and the rest of Darkspawn trying to seek out some vision.
Yeah, they
remain in control.
It's very, very back and forth. They push up the mid wave. Koki has to answer it, and that gives them the freedom to move in with a numbers advantage to the red side jungle and clear out the vision. Now, the wave has been pushed in return, so see Flirt heads back over, and this is when the numbers are equalized for Bulldogs, and they feel more confident to try and contest this vision control. They're still not in a great position to fight. You want to get that Ludens on Calward. You want to get that fully stacked Manamune on Koki. And ideally, a Zeal or maybe, you know, a Zeal on top of that to get that extra attack speed, to get that E-Evolve. Or an Ashes Tooth if he's going, you know, the AP build. But I don't think you would here when you have so much AP already on your team. Has now finally stacked. You have the Liandry's coming in for Tolium. So they're in a much better place for the item spikes. Just off the little spend they had. And the Zeal now comes in for Koki. I believe that does give him enough attack speed to evolve the E.
Yes, I will. With the Berserker's Greaves and the Rage Blade, yes.
I'll see when he if he goes invisible. I think it should. With the Rage Blade, the Zeal, and the Berserkers, I think it's enough. But that puts him in a very powerful position in a team fight.
And that's what we're waiting for here. We're just
I'm
waiting for that
so
one moment. You know it's going to happen. And it's scary for Bulldogs because, yes, they have good scaling. Yes, they've got people who can deal with this. But also for Darkspawn, like, you've got, once again, Beely just farming up a storm. He's just stacking items. The longer they don't fight, almost the better.
Yeah.
He just wants to get a couple items under his belt. Once he's got that Banshees, he's going to be feeling very, very confident. Tolium has used the ulti. Akaz is getting chunked really low. That's the third Cloud Drake picked up for Darkspawn. They lose a little bit in the health bar department, and they might actually lose this mid lane turret.
Yeah, I don't think
However,
you can defend
Beely's
this.
also made his way over, and maybe they don't here.
Oh, wow, they actually managed to. So Bulldog just not being willing to commit. That tower very low on HP. And Bulldog's going to move over to get control of this Baron area. But Darkspawn don't call the bluff. They're going to start pushing up mid. But now Baron being started. Remember, with the Heimer, this goes down so fast. Heimer Mountain, this is already on 7k, 6k, 5k.
It is melting down. Peely, a PFI can't make his way over in time as maybe they look for the fight. But it looks like for the moment, Darkspawn are just going to step away, give this over to Bulldog.
You give Heimer a second, he will take the Baron. That's all he needs. It was such a fast take. And a good call from Bulldog to outmaneuver. Yes, Darkspawn get a tower. Yes, they get the Cloud Dragon. But they lost a Baron for it.
Lost oh so much. The Void Seeking out, but what did Darkspawn do now? How do they answer out? How do they slow this game down? Because they are definitely going to lose this mid lane turret. I mean, a swift breeze would blow this over. Or this caster minion. Watch this.
It was a good move from Akaz to push the bot lane. That means someone has to answer it. The turret does go down, but now Bulldog are playing it slow. They want to establish vision control before just pushing up blindly because they're very scared of Akaz TPing in behind them in Mega Gnar. Understandably. So they'll take it slow, push up and try and get this tower. There's good wave clear on Darkspawn. Remember, a Baron is not easy to push through.
Especially when you're Ryze as well, because you want to be able to kill the minions to be able to like bounce the E more effectively. Kind of bounce your abilities, but I mean, nice and slow here, but they've got 2 minutes 20, plenty of time for Bulldogs to work with. The Flirt is getting chunked.
That second laser activation would have, probably wouldn't have killed him, but it would have been close. And now Bulldog have the control. There's no way you engage easily onto these Heimer turrets as well. So I think they're gonna have to just give up this tower here. Aka's trying to zone with a Mega, but it's about a timeout.
About to lose it. They will just lose this turret. But when did Darkspawn pull this trigger? They do not want to lose an inhibitor once again, but PFI on that flank. Keep your eyes on him. The minions getting cleared out for the moment. They're waiting. They're seizing their chances. PFI not going in quite yet.
Trying to wait for the right moment. You mess this up, you can lose the game. but if you make it work right, you get yourselves right back into it.
I think that's why they're waiting the Baron out as much as possible.
Yeah.
So if it does go wrong, they don't have long left on the Baron. But Flirt takes a big E to the face and E to the face, and now
I think they just have to
they
give,
just have to give it up.
Yeah, they lost too much HP on Flirt. They give that up. They don't sacrifice anymore, and they might look for an opportunity to fight off the back of this. But with Flirt still healing up, I don't think they do.
It's so hard with the turrets as well. You got so much to siege through. As they are able to get themselves an inhibitor in the mid lane here for Bulldogs. Baron, they've got a minute left as well, so they might be able to take one more turret if they're quick about it.
Very tempered play coming out from Darkspawn. They don't want to give up more than they have to. They do lose a couple of turrets here. It's going to push the gold in the favor of Bulldog, but they don't sacrifice more than they have to. Now, can they defend this last minute turret? There's 40 seconds on the Baron. They have this wave and potentially one more to push with, and that will be it. So can Darkspawn defend for that long? Remember, Tolium's actually top and he just recalled. There's no towers to stop the engage.
This is the moment, the flash! They find the knockup under the Cat. Teleport's coming in. Cat goes golden. They've got the ulti coming down onto Fastlane for the moment. Nobody has died as the hook lands onto Akers. The Chaos Storm is ripping through everyone. Beely has shields to work with. Flirt finds the kill. The Flash Storm comes in. It's a 1-for-1 so far in the fight. Make it a 1-for-2. The Feather Storm by Flirt is there. Beely chasing on a coward. Looks to liquefy through his health bar. The gravity field. There's enough. Beely holds his life for the moment. And Darkspawn come up with 3 kills.
And that was the team fight we were waiting for. A slow-paced game, but finally Tolium shows top, and Darkspawn have the confidence to go. They pull the trigger, they make the engage, and we will get another look at that team fight. So remember, Tolium's not here. His turrets are not there to threaten, and even though he TP's in, the fact he doesn't already have them set up is definitely a hindrance. So PFI goes for the engage on the Cat, the easiest target, this tank on the front line, and then the taunt comes out from Fastlane. And actually, this goes a bit unfavorably because the ult comes out onto Akers from the Cat, and then he jumps over, so Beely and PFI get knocked up, but Beely has a ton of shields, keeps himself alive, and then he starts pumping damage in return, and then great taunt coming out from Fastleg. Flirt flashes forward to find him, and from that point,
how does
Bulldog
Beely live? Look at this. How does he live all of this?
They're just too scared to push up on him. Crucially, they managed to get the kill on a Cal when he was the major threat. Darkspawn back into this game. They equalize the goal. They clear off the Baron buffs. And although they lost at mid and here, their base is still together.
They equalize the Mountain Drakes as well, which is a big, big one here for them. Now Flirt has the Essence Reaver, the Infinity Edge, a rapid fire cannon, and a Zeal. This Zaya, sorry, starting to look really, really disgusting. Beely now also running around with the Banshee's Veil, working towards that Morello Nomicon. Beely going to be so powerful now on this rise, and it's getting harder and harder for Bulldog to try and pull out that favorable team fight.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the difficulty, is this Olaf no longer as useful, basically just a meat shield. The Cat still got a lot of potential with that ultimate. But Tolium, you have to have the turret set up. If you're not there, if you don't have the turret set up, you just can't provide the disengage that your team needs, because that is the real threat. If Tolium was there and his turrets were able to defend against that engage, it would have been a very different story. And that's why it's a good move from Akers to go on the side lane and push it up. And now look, Tolium recalls. He has to go bot to pick up that wave to clear it out. And that means that Bulldog are a man down.
It's going to be so heart-wrenching here, though, for the side of Bulldog. Last game, they were up. They got 2 inhibitors. They were an open nexus from taking game 1. They take an inhib again in this game, and they just lose a team fight once again to Beely's Rise. They are staring defeat down the barrel, but they still have a lot to work with. It's still a long way from being decided, and now Akers on this flank. They are trying to get a pincer maneuver off, and PFI finds himself an ulti onto Cat. In the comes Noah comes up huge. Akers gets everyone. It's a double kill. Taken down for Flirt. Tolium is running away. Cornel gets pinned in place. Flirt comes up. Beely shuts him down. 3 members of Bulldog fall, and Darkspawn will go for Baron.
Akers gets a huge coward, so there he's trying to make this
That is a big Chaos Storm. The heal comes out of the Redemption. Beely has shields to work with. The Chaos Storm barely scratches the surface. 3k HP onto Baron as it gets picked up for Darkspawn. They are 7-1. They are 4k gold up. And they are looking to go 2-0 over Bulldog and secure themselves a spot in tomorrow's finals.
Once again, Darkspawn so confident. They pull the trigger. They make the engage. And Akers are not. His ult was so good. This is why this man picks his champion. This is why he's so confident. We will see it again. So
I want this in slow-mo.
We see Tolium heading over. Doesn't have his turret set up yet. And Bulldog feel confident to get momentum set up in the right position. But remember, Calwood isn't with them. And Quinals feels so confident. And now, this is a key moment. Akers lands a slow on the Koki. And that's when they feel this is go time. He gets the Meganov, bounces, gets the two carries into the wall, and then the QSS gets stunned straight after, and at that point, they're just falling apart. And yes, Cholia managed to get out, but at that HP, the rest of the team go, let's focus at jungler, we take him, this Baron is ours, and just a flawless team fight. And actually, found another pick on a Cholia. We did miss that one off camera, but I can imagine that it came from a PFI because he's the one who got the kill, and his ult is still up actually, so he didn't even use it.
That's the key thing actually. They're now in a 4v5 and Sejuani still has that ultimate after getting the kill. These turrets are going to be taken down nice and quick, and Darkspawn with this Baron may just look to try and close this out with the man advantage. Koki has to be careful. Ulti goes a little bit wide, but they look for the slow. The death charge only lands onto one, and now this turret might just be the sacrifice as Darkspawn take this down. Akers, meanwhile, in that mid lane, also shoving a wave up. Koki has to try and defend, has to try and hold the wave. Does have the Hurricane to clear out, but oh my lord, Flirt just minces through his health bar. Now the jump onto Cornel. Fastlane doing oh so much damage as they get the root, they get the kill. Flirt takes him down. Inhibitor is going to be focused up, but Flirt forced to use the Featherstorm and the heal to dodge away. The Realm Warp by Beely brings minions in as Coward flashes in. The Stand United into the heal. In comes PFI, and down goes the cat. It looks like Darkspawn might just have done this. They might just have pulled this game back once again from such a dangerous position. They take out the inhib, and they've still got Baron for 1 minute 20.
Yeah, they're going to head towards the top side. There's 3 carries to look for Bulldogs. They've got to be careful, especially with how much damage Calwood is pumping out. He's trying to find the play, but crucially, his team are dying around him. They've lost their front line, and now Darkspawn are just feeling confident to push in. Flash still available for the Shen. If he wants to make a taunt happen, he can punish them, but Darkspawn, they're going to play it safe. They don't want to make the mistake that Bulldog did and over push like in game 1. They recall with a Baron. They still have a minute left on it. And they're in a great position to take this game. 7-0-3 on this Xayah from Flirt. 2-0-4 on this Ryze. He has the Banshees, has the Rabadons, and picked up that stopwatch as well. They are so strong.
All right, well, let's have a little look at that missing kill, because I want to see how PFI was able to pick that kill up onto Tilium.
Okay.
Oh, he gets taunted.
Not sure what Tolium's doing there.
Oh. That is it.
That was not the play. Just
That's
caught
not the
out
one, my
in the
dude.
jungle, overextended, and gets punished by Darkspawn essentially for free.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about these KDAs, because Flirt was 1-5 when the game got pulled back last time. He's 7-0. Last time it was all about Beely. Beely, while still being a massive factor for Darkspawn, he also has the backup and the consistent DPS that Flirt's able to offer as well. That's why this game is looking, these fights are being more one-sided than they were in the last game, because of how far behind Flirt was.
I mean,
this time he's not.
When Flirt lands a couple of autos, it does so much damage, and the crucial thing is, there's so much less pressure from Bulldog. They had Kennen, Galio, Jarvan. That was so much threat to the backline. Now, they have Heimer, Olaf, and then, yeah, the Nautilus is a pretty good one, but just the Nautilus ult isn't going to do much, especially when it's a support, no AP to back it up. So Darkspawn feels so confident.
They're trying to work these minion waves up here. 4 supers are inside the base. Bulldog staring this into a horrible position. That auto attack by Flirt onto Camille does so much damage. That's the ulti by PFA onto Cat. Instantly looks to cleanse it out as Beely flashes forward. Tries to get the assassination off onto Koki, but Koki uses the ultimate. He's going to go golden for the moment. Fastlane misses out on the taunt. The redemption's coming down as Beely trying to get that damage down, but he's still up for the moment. Can't quite bounce the ease. Koki jumps away. The root comes down by Flirt onto the Cat. Everybody is alive, but the Nexus is exposed, and Bulldogs are staring defeat in the face right now. They have to to go right now if they want to get this win. Coward chunks onto Akers. The axe not going to be enough to get the slow, and now Akers about to go onto Mega Gnar. This might just be that moment. He's too low on HP, and Darkspawn are forced away. Somehow, Bulldogs hold on.
Somehow they make the miracle play to keep them off their base. They manage to deal with both the super minions and the 5 members of Darkspawn. Darkspawn lose their nerve and they will back up, but crucially, there's still super minions pushing in. The Nexus towers are down and the Baron is on the cards very soon. A ping comes out from Darkspawn. They have their eyes set on that massive purple worm. You can see the timers in the bottom left.
Is this 100% crit for Flirt on this build?
Yes.
Yes. He's gone for the Blade of the Rune King as his last item. I actually would have really liked to see the QSS. Just if he does get caught by the cat, it could spell the end of the game here for them. But
I think it's just the way he's been playing. Or the cat struggling just to even press R on him. I think him getting on top of him is it's unlikely. I think Blade of the Rune King's an interesting one. I think the more traditional would be a Bloodthirster, but clearly he wants to cut through these front lines as much as possible. Baron's going to get started
as well.
Yeah, Baron's going to get started up. Polium is in the area, but he does not have a smite.
But they have to clear out these waves. You
Look
can
how
see
fast that
Quinil
goes.
is there. This Baron is just cut through here by Darkspawn now. 3 waves of supers. They got Baron buff to work with, and Talium gets flashed onto the Realm Warp to chase down. He gets himself a stun onto multiple members as the Akers running low goes into Mega Gnar. And they force out the flash from Akers, and they lose nothing for Bulldogs.
Yeah, just a really solid performance coming out from Tolium to keep some space, but Darkspawn still in control, still have that Baron. They're going to TP in.
Akers is in Mega as well. Doesn't quite have that flash. That's going to be the taunt onto Cat. Into the ulti. They chain the damage as Cat is going to get picked up by Akers here. Flirt looks to push in the minions. Look for Beely. Just lose out on his one. But Akers jumps into the backline. The Feather Storm comes down into the Chaos Storm. They try to get the damage on the Coward as Coward is running through. The Nexus is exposed. Akers is down. Koki somehow comes up in the fight. But Beely gets the assassination. The Nexus is exposed. Darkspawn have done it. They take absolutely every member of Bulldogs down in the full ace. They take the base, and congratulations, Darkspawn. You are not out yet.
It was a slow game, but they was dominating from Darkspawn. They knocked Bulldog out in 2-0 fashion. Out of the UKLC, Darkspawn, they are not leaving us yet.
All right, well, unfortunately for Bulldogs, that does mean their time with us is done, but Darkspawn, it was a slugfest. It was a hard-fought victory for the 2-0 over Bulldogs, but now they have to go up tomorrow versus Envision to see if they stay in, because they are not secured in the UKLC. There's still 1 more spot, and there's still 2 more teams.
If they play like they did today, I'm very confident in Darkspawn. They had some really solid performances. And the things I was concerned about, which was, I mean, we've had concerns about Beely, but he played like Faker that whole series.
Beely played so well, and Flirt shored up game 1 as well. He looks so much more comfortable. He looks so much more fed. And just great game all around there for Darkspawn. They played it slow. They did give up that the inhibitor in the mid lane to the first Baron. And that's where I look at this series versus Envision, and I'm like, okay, they got punished early. And Envision were a team who went toe-to-toe with Brotherhood, with E9, and they were able to punish them in the early. So I think
it was Darkspawn against Brotherhood.
You're right. Sorry.
But I'm
talking about today. Sorry, I'm talking about today.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you meant the yesterday's matches.
No. So what I look at from what I've seen from both of these teams, from both Envision and from Darkspawn, I think we're going to have a hell of a series tomorrow.
I think so too. And I think it showed a lot of restraint. The fact that they lost that inhibitor, didn't fight for it, didn't fight to defend it, and sacrificed that. But we've seen the really strong E9 Brotherhood. They qualified today, but a game was taken off them by Envision. And this team will now go up against the Darkspawn, who are on an upward I can't say it. Trend. Why do I keep saying
Tweety Pie.
Tweety Pie.
On that upward trend. What an incredible series, though, for our teams, from our UKLC team, Darkspawn, to make themselves through at least into the lower bracket finals for tomorrow. But that's where it's all going to be decided. That's when we know who our teams in the next season are.
Yeah, and we do have our unsurprising MVP. It is Beely in the mid lane.
It's Baker.
Yeah, basically 23 KDA on that rise.
Oh, my Lord, what?
So dominant, pumping out so much damage, and just the absolute confidence coming out from him. Huge.
I mean, he's not getting rise tomorrow.
Well,
Envision do not want to give this over.
Yeah, I wouldn't. But the thing is that he's had a great performance on the rise, if they ban that away, I'm sure he's got something else up in
He's got the Syndra, he's got the LeBlanc. These are also picks that Beely can play. If he wants to play a faster game, he can play this LeBlanc. We've seen him play exceptionally well on this champion, and I feel like you can ban him out. That's the one catch here. Beely, while he looks good on his comfortable champions, if he's not on one of those comfortable champions, he looks very weak. And it was one of my criticisms of him during the UKLC was his champion pool size. But today, that was not a problem. He was put on comfort, and he looks so, so good.
Yeah, he just looked flawless on the rise. And there were some really solid performances from, Flirt showed up in game 2. I think Akers in game 1 was really solid. I think the team came together really well, but really stood above the rest as just a strong player in the mid lane.
I mean, you also look at the top lane. You look at Akers. I think Akers, even though that game 2 maybe That's
not a fun matchup.
Less impressive, but like you said, it's not a fun matchup. It's naturally favored towards the Heimer. He always shoves. That's unfortunately how that champion works for the rest of us who don't play Heimerdinger. But Akers, he looked great in game 1. In game 2, that ulti was basically the game-defining ulti for Darkspawn.
He, so
like you said, caught the 2 key members, slammed them into the wall. QSS comes down, doesn't matter. The wallop's already being cast. You get insta-stunned again. Akers played out of his mind, and I feel like that we used during the UKLC the unsung hero as like our kind of like big vote. Akers would be my vote right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He did a lot of work in both games. Like game 1, he was playing a tank, so you give less credit. Remember, he was playing in a losing matchup.
He was playing a tank and he was winning.
Yeah, what an absolute monster.
What a beast. I mean, he smashed ego speed. He dealt with Talia, but I mean, I don't think that was down to the individual player. I think that was just down to the champion matchup, if we're going to be fair. Hopefully, we have a bracket as well, so we can kind of see how everything has been shaped out here. So let's bring the bracket up and see how everything has shaped out. Oh, no, I'm getting lied to. I'm getting baited by Borge.
Yeah, he said, he said that we had it.
Yeah, he did. He's lying.
Thanks for lying to us.
What do you want to talk about until the bracket?
What are you doing after this?
Oh, I'm going to go get some food.
Yeah, same.
I've
missed the 10:30 bus, so I have to get the midnight one.
That's real lame.
Yeah, because
tomorrow we're going out for a meal.
I
missed it.
I have 13 minutes to get from here to Victoria Coach City.
Yo, I'll round the shot.
I wouldn't be able to make it, even if I tried. So I'm getting the later
Just
bus.
get your sprint on.
It's fine. Yeah, for anyone who's unaware, I have to get a 3-hour bus back to Bristol, and then in the morning I'll have to get another 3-hour bus back here. Woohoo! But I love it. I do it all because I love UK esports.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think about it. You're on the bus with Giddy. You're 6 hours. Look at some of the replays from today's matches, actually, in general. It's not just the last game. This first series was tight. It was so close, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And E9 in that game 1, we expected them to come out swinging, but they just got dominated. Infinity on this Karthus, monstrous. I remember how much damage the ult did.
We were told by backstage, I think it was like 1,300 damage on that one where he executed Jason off out of the game. And when he just like threw the black shield, did like 1,300 damage with the art. It was nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. And then yet E9 managing to come back in this series, getting the next 2 games.
Yeah, that reverse sweep for them is Vixen played Akali every game, and we saw Darkspawn put a lot of presence on banning that Akali, so I feel like Vixen's not going to get that. I feel like probably you won't see the car first. Rise will be hotly contested if it's not just perma-banned.
Here's what I want them to do, is just both of them ban no champions, and we just see all of them on their best champions.
Let's just play blind pick.
Yeah, why not?
I want like mirror matchups.
Why not? That was so clutch when Devoxnate came in with that ult. Finds a play, and then Shazen uses the ult to disengage, so he's saved. And he dies for his AD carry. You gotta love to see it.
The true bro code.
And we got to see the new Kai'Sa build. That's a highlight of my day.
We got 3 of them as well.
Yeah, we didn't unfortunately see, because there is an AP build where you can gnash his tooth after the rage, but I would have preferred to see that, but
it's kind of half there. But let's have a little look at the bracket and see how everything is shaping out here on our second to last day of Forge of Champions. Brotherhood were able to get themselves a 2-win over Envision and advance towards the UKLC for the summer split. So congratulations to them. But Envision and Darkspawn, it's a hard-fought victory, but they have to play tomorrow in a best of 3 to decide who our final team into the UKLC is going to be. And honestly, I'm finding it very hard to call. We have the potential for 2 brand new teams to join us through the relegation, but Darkspawn, if they play like they did today, I think there's a good chance they can
like
make
a brand new team today.
Exactly.
I'll say that. They look like a new team. Beely was on point, and the rest of the team catered to him and played around that. But tomorrow, because today, obviously, we had a lot of stakes on this game, but the winning team doesn't necessarily get anything. You avoid relegation. And then in the other game, the losing team, you don't get relegated. But tomorrow, you either get relegated or you get promoted. There's no middle ground. You are either in the UKLC or you're not. And it all comes down to that one series tomorrow. There's going to be so much on the line.
Well, if you want to get in touch with us over here at LVP UK, make sure you head over to the Twitter at LVP UK. Use that hashtag #ForgeChampions and talk to us about biscuits, how I'm apparently the love child of both Chronicler and Orcs just because of what clothes I wear. You know, we've talked about, I've forgotten his name, Anna Partridge as well. There's, you know, we're willing to talk about multiple different things.
We do actually talk about League of Legends, so you can tweet that. But if you like the other stuff,
don't talk to me about League of Legends. Let's talk about something else. Okay. It's more fun that way.
Okay.
But if you want to watch more League of Legends, head over to the YouTube channel LVP UK, where you can watch all of our previous VODs from Forge of Champions and the UKLC. And with that, guys, thank you very much for joining us here on tonight's show. And we'll be back same time tomorrow for even more League of Legends to find out who our final team into the UKLC will be. So until then, we'll see you later.
See ya.